This episode is our last installment with a conversation with Barbara Mason of Career Pathways Consulting, our HR insider. Two takeaways I want to point out for you: don't jump levels and don't rob yourself the opportunity for others to see how awesome you are. In short, network. Take a listen. All right. So, what is one way to start networking today if you haven't been doing a great job with it?
Yes. So to start today is commit to reaching out to one person that you haven't talked to in a while. So as I talked about evaluating your network, so think about, who's in your network. And you can do it a couple of ways. You can look in your phone and you'll say, man, I haven't talked to them in forever. You can go on LinkedIn and just look through your connections.
Yeah.
Just look through your contact list. That's a great place to start. Look on your Facebook feed, your LinkedIn feed, like, man, I hadn't talked to them. And then just make a contact. It could be, I haven't talked to you in a while. You came across my mind. Just want to see how you're doing. And of course, say something about them. I know the last time we talked, your dog was going in for surgery. The last time we talked, you guys were moving to Boston. Like whatever it is. Or, hey, it's been a wild ride this last year. How you hanging in there? I mean, whatever fits, whoever it is, make one connection and just start. That's the best advice, is just to do it.
You're dropping stuff for me. I mean, I'm here, I think I do a pretty decent job, but you're just going through my Rolodex of contacts on my phone. I certainly have a healthy network on LinkedIn, but you just popped in my head about a college chum who took my class, and she's a leader. And I'm like, I need to reach out and say, hey, so-and-so, like, it's been a while since you took my class. Congratulations on passing the exam. FYI, I teach these classes under my company umbrella. Do you want to, want to bring, I mean, we know each other. I can just go right for the kill, but certainly I know you have to smooth over the conversation, but I'm losing so much opportunity to leverage my network from as a business owner. But hopefully this is a reminder for people. Like there are so many people out there that you don't have to be You don't have to be like going for the kill. You can just strike up the conversation. Hey, I thought, like you said, I thought of you, and leave it up to the natural progression of the conversation for them to say anything.
Anything. It can be it again. I always say measure this, go with the strength of the relationship, right? So people that know, you can go in for the kill. Like, look, I forgot to tell you, I teach this now. Like, let's look up. People who you don't know that well, then you wouldn't do this. So match the strength of the relationship. There's people that that you haven't talked to in 2 years, but you can pick up the phone and it's like nothing ever left off, right? Somebody that you worked with for 5 years. Y'all had offices were right beside each other. You might can pick up the phone and just start right back where you left off. Other people, it's just you came across my mind, just want to see how you're doing. And that's it. 6 months later, it may be, hey, I saw this job at your such and such, so measure the strength of the relationship that you have that person and then act accordingly. Like, don't jump levels, don't ask me for coffee. And I'm like, now, who are you again?
Oh my gosh. So someone did that to me. Like, we're connected on LinkedIn, we're connected on Instagram. And then she sent me a message and she's like, hey, can you repost this? No, we've never had a conversation. Like, I see what you do, but no, like that's not okay. And I'm sure she's like, probably a little bit salty with me, but hopefully she realizes, like, I don't know you. I don't know if I like you. I haven't developed the trust in you. We haven't had at least a 15-minute conversation just to understand what we do, so that I can confidently tell people, this is why I'm advertising your services. And I have to really think about that when it's over my own, like I have my own marketing that I have to do. So it was, I definitely understand, know the audience.
And don't jump levels, please.
I think that is like, I'm going to have like these little bullet points of our conversation, like don't jump levels, don't rob yourself of allowing people to know your talent.
Absolutely.
So I think that's really, really important. And there was something else that you said that I wanted to have a follow-on question. but I'm sure it'll come to me. I think we talked a lot about, how can we network without feeling disingenuous? Like, are there any other tips that you want to add to that?
Yeah. And so again, going back to the reciprocity principle is that it's a two-way street. And so before you ask for something, if you want to just be this strict about it, then make sure that you're giving something, right? And again, you're going to be strategic about who do I need in my network, because you need to be planful about it. But it's not like, I see her in Starbucks, she works at Amazon, I want to work there, and I'm going to go straight in. No, I'm going to build a genuine relationship over time, right? While we're in the line at Starbucks, she may say, man, my daughter's a cheerleader. My daughter may be trying out for cheerleading, right? And it could be something as simple as we exchange, contact information. I sent her on a note on LinkedIn that night and said, it was so cool to meet you. Hope the tryouts go well for your daughter.
Yeah. Next
week, hey, I just thought about you because I saw a cheerleader in the grocery store. Did your daughter make the team? Just like, it's just, so again, I care if she made, and I'm not doing it because I know in 6 months I'm gonna need a job at Amazon. No, because I don't know what's going on. Right. It could be 5 years from now.
Yeah.
It's just genuine, like, man, I thought about it. I know that's what you like. And so, and then sharing value. So let's say they mentioned that they were getting ready to go, on a trip to Dubai. And let's say you've been 10 times. You could send her a resource and say, hey, I know that you said you're going at the end of the year. Here is a link that's going to show you the top 5 places to go. I went to all 5 are great. And so that's giving value. That's being reciprocal. So you can't feel disingenuous about that. Also, being willing when they call you and they need something, if you can give it, right?
Yeah.
I have a friend who wants to talk to you because she knows that you do such and such. Yep, absolutely. I had somebody reach out to me on email last week, and she said, hey, my mentor referred me to you. I really want to talk to you about my, my career. And I said, well, who is your mentor? Because that makes a difference, right?
Right.
And that's the way the world works, because depending on who your mentor is, you're going to get more or less. It is, right?
It's so true.
Because
absolutely.
The approach was, hey, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, you don't have an appointment. It's at the last minute. But if it's for somebody that I know, like, and trust, then I'm going to give you a little bit, right? Why? Because you're riding on the relationship of the other person.
Yep.
And so she told me who her mentor was. I'm like, I don't even know who that is.
No.
and I'm like, your mentor recommended you? I don't even know her. It's a place where we all worked. I'm like, I have no idea who that is. But had it been somebody that I'm like, oh, okay, here, I tell you what, I'm gonna call you in the car. I'll give you a few minutes, that type of thing, because I value the relationship that you have with the other person that has a relationship with me. And I know they're not gonna send you unless it's important. Does that make sense?
It makes total sense. So I have to ask this question then. Did you have a conversation with her?
I did.
And did you already give her a coaching? Like, the next time you email somebody, say the name of the mentor. Like, did you already give her that networking coaching tip?
Yes. And we actually talked, and she ended up buying a service from me, which that's not what it was about, because again, everything is time or money. I don't give my time away freely, just to give it, it needs to be with purpose. But when I talked to her, I said, hey, just so that you know, and I said, I don't know who your mentor is. I said, but tell her thank you. And she was like, you don't? I was like, I don't. Like, it's not even registering for me, but tell her I would love to know how she knows me, because I would love to give her a personal thank you. Because she said, this lady was raving about you. I was like, man, thank you, but I don't know how that came to be.
Hilarious.
But you're right. When you interact with someone, say, hey, Crystal sent me. And when I send people, I always say, tell them that I sent you. Because I know my name is going to rise. If it's somebody that I know well, then my name is going to carry some weight. And I want you to get what you need, right?
And you touched on something. So for those who are active on social media, like LinkedIn, it may be a case that this woman felt like she knew you because you are so fired up and passionate about what you do. And so it just came to like, hey, you need to call my girl. And it's like, she doesn't know you, right?
Yes.
But, I think, to the point about being active on social media, if that's, the strategy that people decide to do, that is a way of that soft networking as well. That people get to know you from that level. So if you post articles, if you comment, intentional with intentionality, that can, be a way for people to get to know you without you having to necessarily do, do something from a, reaching out to people aspect.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where people lose the value of LinkedIn, because it can be a great tool for us introverts.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't have to like I can just send you a message and hope you see
yes,
it, and
it's a gold mine.
Back and forth. Yeah.
It's easy. You don't have to be face to face. You can hide behind the email or the post. And especially for us in business, again, you can show people, your personality, your values, and your expertise all at the same time, right? Because people get an image of who you are on social media, whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, based on whatever you put out there. Right. And so because I do lives a lot, people know, okay, man, she's probably pretty approachable. Okay, she's gonna talk like this, or she keeps it very real, or whatever persona I'm out there, that's what people think. So when they get on the phone, people always say, you're just like you are on. Yep, I am. It blows my mind. I'm like, well, I'm not sure what you were expecting, but okay. You're just like you are. You sound just, yes. I don't have a voice filter. It is me.
That is funny. I mean, that's why I did up my game in terms of doing a lot more video marketing.
Yeah.
From a training perspective, I teach exactly how I present myself in this video. So if you're like, wow, I really, resonate with her. If she's this fun and training for 4 days, 8 hours straight, this is awesome. But I also get people like, no, she's not for me. And that's fine too, because it weeds out the, unsatisfied customers.
Yes.
So I want people to get the full value and see the whole me.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
Are they gonna get the times? I think people, it's funny you should say that, because I had someone reach out to me, 2 people, and I always wonder what they mean by that, right? So they're like, hey, Crystal, you seem to be doing well, or at least that's what social media says. It's like, why would you say that?
Yeah, I don't think that's a compliment.
Yeah, it's a slight dig. It's a hateration comment. I don't know. It wasn't necessary to say that, but know that there's some undertone. And I think where people kind of get caught up is, yes, we're putting our best face, right?
Right. Yes.
So, on the flip side, yes, we're going to put our A game on there. And it's been interesting when I see people's comments about like, oh, everybody just puts their A game. And it's like, why? Of course.
Absolutely.
Because that's what I want at work.
Yes.
What the A game person?
Yes.
It's not to say you can't show that you have dreads or put blue in your hair every now and then, but, it is, I think people get caught up, and that's going to our earlier discussion about finding the excuses. You get caught up in all the things that you don't like, and then you let it become this blocker to your success.
And you do nothing. You're just stuck in place.
Yeah. And then you throw your hands up and like, I'm just not going to do LinkedIn. It just doesn't do it for me. And I'm like, okay, I mean, tell me how it works when the rest of the world is like on that track. And it's not that it can't happen or can't work for you, but that's where you have to be a lot more intentional. And do the simple things that you said. Talk to someone that has the logo of their company.
Right.
Join meetup.com. Like I said, that was such a great reminder, because there are so many groups.
Yes.
And that really, elevated during the time of COVID. People were using meetup groups.
Yes.
And I just want to do a plug. This is what I built the community for. So, for those of you listening, I want to encourage you to tap into the community. I'm putting, posting jobs here and there. It's not my main focus, but, if I post jobs, if it's people who specifically say, Crystal, please, share this with your network. I'm giving you all first dibs. So just know that when I post jobs in the community, it is somebody that reached out to me directly. So I'm happy to make that connection. And that's the power of, utilizing the network. You're in the network of the MindsparQ community. And so this is where I want to encourage you all to even, let us be the testing ground for you. If you're shy about it, use these opportunities of, when I spark a conversation with somebody, definitely utilize that. So
absolutely. This should be, and I'm sure it is, a safe place.
Yes, I hope.
Yes.
Well, Barbara, I want to give you an opportunity to share how people can reach you. Do you have a specific service on networking, or send them to the website or anything like that? But anything that you want to share with the community on ways to connect with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm all across social media. So if you're on social media, you can find me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, and all under Your HR Insider. So those are the places where I hang out mostly. On LinkedIn primarily, and Instagram is a close second. But yes, and I do have a course on networking where I walk you through really more specifically about, looking at your current network, a network plan, and action plan. So it is a digital course, so you can purchase it and do it at your own pace. And I'm also happy to do any coaching sessions as well. So yeah, let me know how I can help you guys.
Oh, that's wonderful. Awesome. And I'll make sure to include your contact information in the video recording. So Barbara, I appreciate you. You just dropped nuggets. I knew it was going to be a powerful conversation, and it's like talking with my girlfriend. So
yes.
And now that you know my name, Crystal Richards, I do have I guess she's a doppelganger. I don't know. She's a Crystal Richards PMP as well.
Yeah.
So but we're two totally different people. So people are like, that's not the same.
Yes.
So
now that I know your name, because people are like, I know them. I'm like, yeah, but do they know you?
Hey, that's a good point. People try to do the yanking of names and dropping of names, and it's like,
do they know you?
Right.
That's the important question.
How do you know Crystal?
Yes.
Oh, well, I like her posts.
Okay, so you don't know Crystal. You can't, like they used to say, you can't just slide in her, like she's not gonna know. She doesn't know you. Okay.
I hope you're taking to heart a lot of the tips that Barbara shared. And most importantly, my encouragement is that you take these on as challenges for yourself to up your game when it comes to networking online and offline. If you have questions, feel free to contact me, but definitely contact Barbara Mason, the HR Insider. And you can find her at Your HR Insider as her handle for most social media platforms. And I'll make sure I put her information in the show notes. Thanks so much for listening, and happy networking.